praises and glory to our power Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of the tabernacles of David scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and wherever you may be, or wherever you may be, to you I say Shalom and Shalom. All right, this is going to be real brief. As you see the headline here, and there's two, because that's the one that I also want to talk about here in a quick second. What I just saw. It's actually about to sit down and eat something, but had to hold off. So it says, breaking news: police respond to report of an active shooter at a Michigan synagogue in West Bloomingfield. Police respond to report of an active shooter at a Michigan synagogue in West Bloomingfield. If I'm correct, it was supposed to be a Jewish synagogue. So, I mean, what else can we say? Then it has begun. All right, we have already seen what America is capable of. And then, which going into the article, because this is not the actual article that up there. I can actually exit off the screen. The actual article that we pulled up is something brothers have been talking about last day or so. So it says U.S. is on top of possible Iran sleeper cells. Trump says, what are they? All right, so now I'm not going to really get too deep into the article. I just want to bring up at least one headline from that topic. But yeah, because you know what happened with the operation was it what was it midnight? No, it wasn't Midnight Hammer. I forget the last operation, but anyways, the joint operation between America and the state of Israel against Iran. Okay, and so which is this is something we mentioned before, because they've done that, and look at the many people that have been deleted, you know, over this you know last year or so, mainly headed by the SOI, you know, against you know Iran and other individuals. But anyways, so with them deleting Ali Khamenei, and now his son is in power. These guys want revenge. Okay, and it's beautiful when you think about because back then you had the Persians who were in power, and then you had the Greeks, you know, that fought against them as well. And there was a revolt. I think it was the Ionian revolt. Okay, and later down the line, I think it was Xerxes that picked up that, you know, resuming that revolt. You know, those Greek city states and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not saying that's the same scenario playing out, but we know the Edomites are the ones who claim themselves to be the Greeks and Romans today, or back then, or whatever, however you want to put it. And then we know the modern day Persians are the Iranians. So that's a bit of interesting history there between these two nations. But you know, with the attacks and with the obviously ongoing war right now, there's two scenarios where Iran could launch an attack on America, which is more far-fetched to believe. Which, well, I won't say that because they can always bring people over here because they don't have any missiles per se. I don't think that can reach America, but they can always have people over here, which is why the talk is about what? Sleeper cells. All right. Now, we used to always mention the Jason Bourne movies, right? That's what those men were. Okay. Government weapons who lived like normal people until they got an assignment and they would be activated. We also mentioned the same thing. They showed you that in the Marvel movies. Baron Zemo, he was the guy that was holding the Winter Soldier hostage, and they would say this little line, you know, and then his mind would just blank out. He would get his assignment, and he would just go be a killing machine. So this is what the big talk is right now. Iran having sleeper cells here in Babylon the Great, which is definitely possible. But then we also know how Babylon operates. They could do an FF, a Fantastic Four, all right? Second word flag, all right? So they can have pull a Fantastic Four over here. And, you know, so it can work in either scenario. But we see, you know, this has been a talk. And then going with the other thing right there I'm highlighting, that is currently live right now. All right. Most of the news clips that I've seen were all live. I saw one that was not live, and I grabbed it. It was probably less than a minute long, and I'll probably attach it to this video before or after, whatever the case may be. But every other thing, you know, news site right now that's covering this that I'm highlighting, everything's live right now when you go to YouTube, as far as that I saw. Okay, so it says so yeah, President DT say said the administration is on top of possible Iranian sleeper cells operating inside the United States, offering few details about their existence and level of potential threat. At a news conference March 9, Trump responded to a question about whether the Iranian government had activated undercover groups or cells within the United States. They've been trying for a long time, and we've been very much on top of it, Trump said. We're watching every single one of them. Yeah, we know a lot about them, the president added. He said the Democrat-led shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security was impeding his administration's efforts to address such concerns. I mean, really, there's not much that we have to even read about this. I mean, the point is really in the titles alone. Okay, what's this? ABC reported that the United States has intercepted encrypted communications believed to have originated in Iran that may serve as an operational trigger for sleeper assets outside the country, according to the news outlet's review of a federal government alert sent to law enforcement agencies. But this is the thing. They're at war, and more than likely both sides are going to lie. So Iran could very well have sleeper cells here in America, but also America could be pulling an FF. Okay, whatever the case may be, what's the end result? That's what matters. What's the end result? Oh, we need to know about everybody, this and that, whereabouts, more mass surveillance. We need to identify everybody, and it's just inching them closer to what? A whole digital system, and certain having to ultimately register people in, because it's all leading up to the MOTB. Okay, so leading to stricter there's a word I'm looking for. I can't think of the word though, man. So a particular word I was looking for. But you get the point though. More mass surveillance, more restrictions and things of that nature. So this very well could be where this is headed. Even though these can be real life scenarios, because people do die, but we know Esau has an agenda, and he doesn't care about deleting people to achieve his goal, man. So this is what you're going to see them move towards. Trying to lock down, a flow of information. And the main one is what? The prophets, man. The Amos chapter 8. Okay, they're going to try to cut off the prophets for prophesying, but that's only going to happen when the Lord wants it to. See, look, this is what see, there you go. Jason Bourne, once again. A sleeper cell refers to a group of operatives who are working undercover until activated inside enemy territory. It can refer to a spy network or a terrorist group. And I mentioned the same thing, but I'm not saying that it's going to happen. I'm not saying that it is or isn't possible, but I said that maybe even men of foreign nations that are actually in the American military ranks waiting to do the same thing. Very possible. Can't say it's true, but it's very possible. The administration has not released any advisory about specific threats of Iranian or Iran-aligned sleeper cells in the United States since the U.S.-Israel war with Iran began February 28th. And we're not going to read any more of that. The point there is pretty much straightforward. I will get one scripted though. Let's grab this one. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Now, knowing how Esau operates, you can't put it past him that more than likely these mass pew-pews that keep happening are coming from the inside and not from foreign entities. But being that they're at war, they could come from both sides. But we're just commanded to watch as well as pray and keep our eyes out, and just warn the flock of these things. But I'm going to pretty much leave it at that. Lord willing, you edify to next thing, Yasharallah. I'm going to say shalom.
I'm going to get to some breaking news. Police are responding to an active shooter at a synagogue outside of Detroit, Michigan. We are told active smoke is billowing from the roof. We are bringing you live pictures from the scene where police and officials are already there. You can see the billowing of that black smoke at the bottom part of your screen and toward the top left part. It looks like the area has been shut off to any other regular vehicles. It looks like fire department and some ambulance and other emergency responders are certainly hovering around the proximity of this building. Again, this in the West Bloomfield, Michigan area, a synagogue in the Metro Detroit area. Just wanted to bring you the latest, and we will be continuing to touch base back on this situation as midday continues.